What's going on, everybody? David here from Bluckers Videos and Toys, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Habitat Defender Triceratops from the Jurassic World Dino Trackers line by Mattel. And very happy to finally get this in my collection and open this thing up and share it with you guys and gals. And I did pick this up back in January of 2024, and I believe they might still be having the sale going on as far as this figure goes, but I did get it back then on sale too for like with tax and everything. It was like 15 bucks total, so that was a really good deal on that. So I had to hop on that because I really wanted this in my collection, because this is the first time from Mattel that we've gotten a proper sized Triceratops that we've all been clamoring for, because all the other ones before have been severely undersized. And they've been putting it out throughout different previous lines that they produced, and we've been longing for a proper sale. Excuse me, not a proper sale. Well, yeah, proper sale on this particular figure, but a proper scale size Triceratops to line up with everything else that we have. So we finally have this one. Will we ever get it again? Probably not. But as of the time of this recording, I believe it's still on sale. Maybe the price has been a little different. I've seen it go for $15, $20, and so forth. So it varies. So if you still haven't gotten this, please go to Amazon and see what you can find on this thing, and it still might be on sale, and pick it up. If you're looking for a proper sized scaled Triceratops for your collection, this is the way to go. Anyways, so let's go ahead and take a look at this packaging before we crack this dinosaur out of its packaging and take a closer look at it. So right here on the top left-hand corner, we got the information or the logo of the recycling thing, supporting the bioeconomy, and then it says make an impact. Then we got here at the bottom, the left-hand corner is Jurassic World. Then Habitat Defender Triceratops in the middle. Then we have the Dino Trackers logo right there. Mattel logo at the bottom. And Agents for it up. That's me. And then this is, you can tell it's open style packaging. And you have the figure here in the middle. And for this particular line, they placed it in the desert biome. So let's go ahead and take a look at the back of it. And here we got the Triceratops in the middle. The fax app information here. Got the Jurassic World logo right there. And we got a little bit more information on the bioeconomy thing. So it is made up of 60% of this of plastic, so which is awesome. So if you want to read more about it, you can go ahead and pause the video and check it out. And then we got all the legal information here at the bottom. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take this thing out and take a closer look at it. Alright, so we got it out of its packaging, and looks like we got to do some little assembling. So this is the tail that we need to click on the back of it. Alright, so we got the trike fully assembled and everything, and I must say, this is a very nice figure. There's only one flaw that I see on this thing on my end, but other than that, the detail is incredible, So before we get started on the actual review, let's go ahead and do the fax app. So if anybody needs that, here you go. So, like I said, this figure is awesome. There's only one thing that I see that's flawed on it, but other than that, it's very nice, very nicely detailed. It's not hefty. You can tell it's hollow and everything. But the one thing that I noticed that a lot of collectors have complained about that I know of is that it's not hefty. It's a little thin. It's on the small side, and but we'll get into all that as far as the actual size and what it's supposed to look like. It's not weighty. You know, it's the figure itself is thin. You know, so even though it's lightweight and you can tell it's made out of hollow plastic and everything, so it's not as thick or wide enough as it should be. But overall, aside from that, it's an amazing figure. You know, you could tell they put in the time, crafting detail, the mold and everything, as they do with pretty much all of their figures. I think there's only maybe one figure that I had an issue with when it came to the molding part and everything. But other than that, overall, it's pretty awesome. Look at the detail, scaling, scoots, you know, osteoderms they put. You know, you could tell he put the love for this particular figure into it. And you know, you can tell it's made out of different parts. Like the bottom, it's not painted, it's made out of a separate piece of plastic there with the creamy underbelly. And here you got the underbelly here that underneath the head, you know, that's painted and everything. But other than that, this part is a separate piece of plastic and everything. So, and then you got the scoots and the osteoderms here along the legs. They painted the hind legs, is what I noticed, but they left all this other stuff unpainted. It would have been pretty cool if they painted this part. You know, kind of break out the little details a little bit more. But that's just a little small wishful thinking on my end. And so, tell a little bit undersized, but it still has a pretty good length to it for the most part. You know, still could be a little bit longer, but hey, it is what it is. So I do like the detailing here along the tail, along the sides of it and everything, the wrinkling. And here, the hind legs got the muscle definition, got the little wrinkling here at the elbow, and then you got the belly here, and get the little wrinkling here at the hind legs and in the front, you know. And here on the other side, pretty much the same thing. They painted the scoots here on this side, and yeah, some very nice looking details and everything. Love it. And then here on the top of it, you know, they got the main part here. So, love the little details that they got here as far as the osteoderms, scoots, and all that stuff. So, nicely done. But the fact that they actually painted some on the hind legs and all across the back speaks volumes for itself. And another thing is, from a very rare occasion, is that we get toe claw paint. So that's an amazing feat in itself right there. So now we get to the head portion. So I do like the fact that we do get a lot of detail here. The head and on the frill. Everything is painted correctly. There is no sloppiness that I can tell or see. And the eye's on point right there. And the only thing that I saw that's a flaw is the eye right here. You can tell you got a little bit of paint right there. And it looks like he's got a double pupil. But other than that, aside from that one little nitpick right there, everything else looks incredible. The way the horns are detailed and everything. They actually painted the horns and the beak and along the side the frill and everything. So normally, if this was a smaller version, none of this stuff would be painted. If it is, it'd be like half of it, you know. And then one of the horns wouldn't be painted and stuff like that. So, but I'm glad that they was able to get everything done in such fine texture. So then, as I was saying earlier about the width or the heftiness of it, you could tell it's a little thin, you know. a lot of people wanted it a little bit more fatter, a bit more wider, which is fair. I don't really know what the Triceratops really looks like in real life because we've never seen one, just only by the skeletal structure. But I can understand that they would want this a little bit more wider, just a tad bit more, so it can look like it's a little bit more hefty. But it looks fine like this, looks like it does need a little bit more food in the belly, but but overall, it's a great looking figure, aside from that. So it looks awesome. So that being said, let's go to the articulation. So you got the tail that's on the ball, hinge, rotates around, and then the legs move forward and backwards. Got a little bit of ratcheting right there, and then forwards, backwards here in the front legs, and then the head and neck is on the ball. So you can look all the way up like this, look all the way down like this, and you can move the head rotation like this, left, right, looking all over the place. So very cool. And then one of the things that we didn't get for the Hammond collection is a articulated jaw. So you can open the mouth wide like that, and then you can close it like this. So the fact that we have an articulated jaw is awesome. So kudos to Mattel for allowing to get one of these for this particular figure. So very happy about that. So it looks really good. So that's about it as far as this goes. So this is very cool. I'm really glad that we finally got a proper sized Triceratops. So let's go ahead and start doing the comparisons. So the first comparison we're going to do is we're going to bring out the Legacy Collection Alan Grant. So that's pretty much in scale with what a Triceratops size should be like. So really like that a lot. It looks good. Alright, let's bring out the next one. And for our first comparison with the trike figures that I wanted to compare this to, here is the Fallen Kingdom Triceratops that we've gotten. So you can tell how vastly undersized this one is, and that's pretty much the scale for all of them throughout the line that we've gotten in the past throughout the different lines that we've gotten. And so yeah, you can tell how this compares to this, and the fact that we actually finally get this years later and completely just underwhelms this thing. So I do like this one. It's the first of its kind from the Mattel line, so this will be added or being saved in my collection. I'm not going to get rid of it or anything. It's just the fact that this is the main line that we got, and you could tell that it's actually a lot detailed too, as compared to the other ones that we got from Mattel. So, alright. Next up is we have the Triceratops from the Dino Riders line. And you can tell it's pretty much, if not just a hair bit bigger than the Mattel trike from the Fallen Kingdom line. And and this was undersized back in the day too. So they did make some undersized Triceratops back then as well. I remember this came out in 87, I believe. So yeah, you can tell how far this evolution of figures have come since the Dino Rider days. So very cool to have on hand, though. This one isn't going to go anywhere either. This will be part of my collection. It's part of toy history. part of dino toy history. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the next comparison. And next up is probably one of my favorites that I have in my collection is the Definitely Dinosaurs Triceratops from Play School. And this is a fairly large size figure in its own right, especially for back in the day. So very happy to have this in my collection. I even got one in box too. He's complete. This one's complete too as well, but we're just focusing on the actual dinosaur itself and how big this figure is compared to the new one. So still relatively a big figure, but not as large as the Habitat Defender. So but this is still an awesome figure. Still got a lot of playability to it as well. So even though it's cartoony and everything, but it packs a punch, in my opinion. So very happy to have this in the collection as well. So just different variations of it. So awesome. And next up we have the Kenner Triceratops from the Jurassic Park line, Series 1. And this pretty much was the definitive Triceratops that we've had, aside from the Beast of Mesozoic Triceratops that they made a year or two ago. So this was like pretty much the end-all be-all trike that we had, at the time. So that this was the big Triceratops figure that we've gotten, that I'm aware of. If there's anything bigger than that, then shit, let me know. But yeah, so this actually is pretty good size. As you could tell that the size of these things progressed over time. So very happy about it as well, because pretty much same thing. But this is made of rubber. This is hard plastic, but they both have a lot of detail to it for what it's worth. So but this was made to fit the 5-inch figures, and that was made for the 3 3/4 figure. So it's a very good comparison, in my opinion. Alright, so I got one more comparison, pretty much just wanting to show the different sizes of all the Triceratops figures I have in my collection. So these are the ones I think they're worth comparing to. So, alright. And we have Mary Alice from the Good Dinosaur by Tomei. And even though she wasn't in the movie, this was pretty much an added figure to the line just to boost sales. But happy to have her in the collection. So this is Mary Alice Triceratops from the Good Dinosaur toy line. But even though it's way smaller, but it's still a fun comparison. Alright, so there you have it. That was the review. Hope y'all enjoyed watching this as much as I did reviewing it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this, and what do you think of all the comparisons I did. And don't forget, words of wisdom. Buy what you love and not what you like, because if you buy what you like, you always end up getting rid of it. And I will catch y'all later.